It's no secret that M2 chips are kinda disappointing. So disappointing that Apple halted the production of all M2 series chips earlier this year, and I have the reason for it right here. The M1 MacBook Air. The laptop that changed everything, as I call it. But how does it hold up in 2023? Should you buy one? Let's find out. First things first, let's talk about specs. The 2020 MacBook Air is equipped with the M1 chip that has 8 CPU cores and 7 GPU cores. The chip is paired with 8 gigs of unified memory and a 256 gig SSD. That doesn't sound like a lot, right? Right, but I will come back to that later. I think we should talk about the looks first. The MacBook Air has an iconic wedge-shaped design that was initially introduced with the first MacBook Air in 2008. I know you won't believe me, but I have mixed feelings about it now. A year ago, I would have said that it looks modern, but now I'm confused. On one hand, this laptop still looks gorgeous. This design is like good wine, gets better with time. It's a classic design, there is no way around that. But what annoys me slightly about it is how different it is from the current generation of MacBooks. New Macs are sleek and boxy with flat sides and rounded edges. This MacBook Air is the polar opposite of that. It's like a razor. Thicker on one side and gradual. Plus, with this design, the display with its thick bezels look dated. Well, I think it is safe to say that the design now is more controversial than ever. The display is far easier to judge. It features a 13.3-inch Retina display, which is a joy to work on. The colors are vibrant and the display is bright and crisp, making it perfect for both work and entertainment. While the bezels could be thinner, it's still a great display overall. 400 nits of brightness are enough for almost every condition, and the absence of a notch will definitely make some people happy. I personally would have preferred the notch because it just frees up slightly more space on the screen to work with, but that's just me. Okay, so if the design and the display get a pass, what doesn't? Well, the webcam. After using MacBook Pros and the new Air for so long, I came to appreciate the good webcam. M1 Air has only a 720p webcam, which is not perfect. It still looks nice and will get you through any Zoom call or family FaceTime, but if you are as picky about the image quality as I am, this webcam will disappoint you. 720p looks really grainy on anything but an iPhone, so for the most part, you'll look like a Minecraft character. But hey, if you don't care about all that, this webcam will do just fine for you. Another thing that I'd like to address is the port selection. It's pretty limited. With the 2020 MacBook Air, you get only 2 Type-C ports and a headphone jack. That's all. I didn't like that in 2020 and I don't like it now. 2 Type-C ports will be a real bottleneck for anyone like me. You'll need to buy a dongle that supports pass-through charging to be able to connect everything. After years on MacBook Pros, I can't imagine myself going back to those dongles and adapters. But not everyone is like me, I understand that. And looking at ports from a regular person's perspective, I can say that it's fine. Most people will rarely need to connect their MacBook to anything but power and one external monitor. For the most part, it should be fine. Don't worry about ports, but be prepared to buy a dongle. I can go on and on about every little disappointing detail, but what's the point? Let's talk about something that doesn't disappoint: the performance. The performance of the M1 MacBook Air is definitely one of its strongest selling points. With the M1 chip, this laptop can handle a wide range of tasks with ease. For basic tasks, the M1 chip is more than enough. It's fast, efficient, and can handle everyday tasks with ease. Even if you have multiple tabs open, streaming music or videos in the background, and running a few applications, the M1 chip will still be able to keep up. However, if you are planning on doing more demanding tasks like editing 4K videos or working with large files, you might find that the base version with 8 gigs of unified memory isn't enough. In these cases, the Mac may start using swap, which means it's moving data between the RAM, unified memory, and the SSD to free up memory. While the M1 chip is still fast enough to handle these tasks, having more memory would certainly help. The 256 gigs SSD is also a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, the 2-chip layout makes it faster than the 1-chip layout found in newer MacBooks, which makes swap usage almost unnoticeable to end users. However, 256 256GB is still a relatively small amount of storage, and you might find yourself running out of space if you have a lot of files or applications. Overall, the M1 MacBook Air is still a powerful machine that can handle most basic tasks and even short bursts of demanding workflows. It doesn't feel as powerful as it did 2 years ago, but it will still get 95% of people through the day just fine. I even tried replacing my MacBook Pro with it for a day in life, and let me tell you, it's still pretty impressive. It might not be as speedy as the MacBook Pro, but it's definitely capable of handling most video editing tasks without any major hiccups. Sure, there have been a few times when I've noticed some slowdowns or stuttering, especially when working with big files and complex projects, but for the most part, the M1 Air chip has allowed me to work pretty efficiently and get stuff done in time. What also holds its ground in 2023 is the battery life. It's still as impressive as ever. Like, according to the official specs, this thing can last up to 15 hours of web browsing or 18 hours of video playback. And even today it lives up to those numbers. That's insane, right? I've used it for all sorts of stuff, from editing videos to watching movies to just plain old web browsing, web surfing. And even with all that going on, I can still easily get a solid 8 to 10 hours of battery life out of it. And if you are a more casual user, even with simpler tasks, and you turn on the low power mode in battery settings, there is a real chance to get 2 full working days out of it. To anyone who switches to M1 Air from a Windows laptop, the battery life will be one of the biggest shocks for sure. One thing is hearing about it on the internet, but experiencing it is another. You will be seriously amazed. Let's also quickly talk about the speakers. For a laptop that's so slim and lightweight, the sound quality is surprisingly great. Of course, it's not quite as good as what you get on a MacBook Pro, but considering the size and price point, it's hard to complain. If you're watching a movie or listening to music, you will definitely be able to enjoy the experience without feeling like you're missing out on anything. Here's another reason to buy this laptop: the price. The M1 MacBook Air in 2023 is an absolute steal. I mean, when you look at the price-features ratio, it's hard to find a better deal out there. Right now, you can snag a brand new M1 MacBook Air from Apple for just $999. But get this, if you're willing to go refurbished, Apple has them listed on their website for just $849. And if you're really trying to save some cash, you can find refurbished M1 MacBook Airs on Amazon for as low as $695. That's nuts, and here's the thing: just because the price is low doesn't mean you're skimping on quality. The M1 MacBook Air still has a lot of great features like the powerful M1 chip, the sleek design, and the long battery life. And for casual users or students who don't need all the bells and whistles of a more expensive laptop, this deal is an absolute steal. I mean, think about it. For under $1,000, you're getting a laptop that can handle all the basics like web browsing and streaming, as well as more demanding tasks like photo and video editing. And let's not forget about the portability factor. The MacBook Air is slim and lightweight, making it the perfect laptop for anyone who's constantly on the go. So if you are in the market for a laptop and looking for a great deal, the M1 MacBook Air is definitely worth considering. With its powerful features and affordable price point, it's a laptop that won't disappoint. You have my word.